What if we as a nation came to realize that the quest for empire eventually destroys all great nations?
Hey, welcome back everyone. I am Matt Larson, and earlier last night the verdict was announced in the Trayvon Martin-George Zimmerman trial. And George Zimmerman was acquitted. He was found not guilty of second-degree murder of Trayvon Martin. This has caused outrage in many sides of the media. Many people across the United States have gone to the streets and protested, and they're not liking what's going on. My take on this is I think George Zimmerman was in the wrong for getting out of the car and going and confronting this teen. He could have been racially profiling him, but we don't know. We weren't there that night. We're not inside George Zimmerman's head. But do I think that he was wrong for using his firearm on Trayvon Martin after Trayvon Martin confronted him with aggression? No. I think that in the end, no one wins no matter what. Even if George Zimmerman was charged with murder, that's not going to do anything for Trayvon Martin. This is a lose-lose situation, and the only people that are benefiting from this is the media. And I can't even say it's the left-wing and right-wing media because honestly, they're all the same. They're not actually talking to you about the facts, and it's only convenient for them to talk about this story because it creates a bigger racial divide in between us. If there's one thing that the media is benefiting from this, and they are greatly, is they are putting a bigger gap in between races. And I say it that way because I don't really look at people in certain races. I think of them as a group, as a species. They are the human race. People are people. Does it matter that their skin is different color? Absolutely not. That does not make them a lesser of a person if they're black, if they're white, if they're Asian. It doesn't matter if they're Hispanic. It does not matter. But the media is only telling you what they want you to know. They're still calling George Zimmerman a white Hispanic. Since when? This part to me is kind of really the nail in the coffin on where they're still trying to drive the racial gap even farther apart than what it's at now. They call George Zimmerman a white Hispanic when his mother is from Peru, his father is white. So they call him a white Hispanic. Why is Obama not a white African American or a white black? His mother is white, his dad black, but for some reason President Obama is our first black president. It needs to work both ways, I guess. And they're really focusing too much on race and not the actual content of the case. Luckily, the jurors were able to focus on the content of the case and not be separated on race. And I applaud them for that. I honestly do think that George Zimmerman was in his rights in abiding by the law when he did use the stand your ground law. I honestly do. I want to know your guys' thoughts on that. And this isn't something that we need to necessarily get upset or angry about. I think what we need to get upset about is how the media is using Trayvon Martin's death against everyone. Not even against whites and blacks, but every single race. Trying to create this tension in between people to where they'll never cooperate with each other to actually further everyone's cause, to get more freedom for us. And President Obama earlier this morning released a statement basically saying that the jurors have spoke, the judicial system has taken place, and we have to accept what the outcome was. Now he said if you want to give justice to Trayvon at all, what we need to do is stem gun violence. And I agree, we do need to start cracking down on gun violence. And you know how we start doing that? We start allowing more people to have firearms. Because you know what is really a number one stopper of gun violence? More guns. An armed society is a polite society. Look at the cities around the United States that have the strictest gun laws. They have the highest homicides by firearms. Chicago, New York, all these other cities are failures. They're examples of what gun control does to the American people. It kills them. Because only the people that have the guns in those cities are the bad guys, are the people that will get them no matter what. Even if there's a law on the books that is supposed to magically stop them from owning a gun. It just doesn't work that way.